Good morning, boys and girls. How are you today? Miss Bowden finally has her electricity back on. The internet is working great, so we can get back to posting our videos today. I missed not doing a video to you guys yesterday, but my internet was giving me a little bit of trouble, so I had to use my phone for some things. And I know I use it to record the videos, but I use a lot of my computer to upload different things. So today we're back to doing all of our work. So yay, it's Friday. And today we are going to do a lot of learning about Venus, our second planet from the sun. So far we've already learned about our sun. And then on Wednesday, I believe it was, maybe Tuesday, what's today? Today is Friday, right? Today is Friday. So on Wednesday, we learned about Mercury, our first planet from the sun. And today, we are going to learn about Venus, our second planet from the sun. So we learned Mercury was the smallest planet in the solar system. It is a very rocky planet, and it is super hot, but it is not the hottest planet. Actually, our hottest planet in our solar system is Venus, the second planet from the sun, which is really crazy and weird to think because you would think the planet that's closest to the sun would be the hottest, but nope. Mercury has no atmosphere, whereas Venus has a kind of like an atmosphere. It is filled with so many poisonous clouds that trap in so much heat inside of it that it keeps the heat in and doesn't let heat escape. So any little bit of sunlight that comes into that atmosphere, guess what happens? It never leaves. So it just continues to get hotter and hotter. Venus is also a rocky planet, a terrestrial planet, which means it's full of rock. But guess what? Because just like Mercury, it's so hot, it's even hotter than Mercury. Do you think there's going to be water on this planet? No, the little bit of rain that might fall from the sky is actually something called acid. It's something that burns and is poisonous and is very dangerous. So there is no water on Venus because Venus is so hot, it dries it all up. But you know what there is on Venus? There are a ton of craters and volcanoes constantly exploding all over the place on Venus. Venus is called Earth's twin. Why is it Earth's twin if it's so hot and it rains stuff that could hurt us? It's got no water on it. Nobody can live there. Well, it's called Earth's twin because it's about the same size as Earth. It's a little bit smaller than Earth, but it's about the same size, which means we have about the same amount of gravity. Venus is our closest neighbor. It's close to Earth, and so it makes us the brightest star in the sky. So you're thinking a star, well, the sun is a star, but a planet is a planet, not a star. Well, a planet is a planet, but in our night sky, anything that twinkles in the sky, we kind of call them a star. So even though Venus is a planet and we can see the planet in the night sky, it also is shining brightly because the sun's shining on it. And so it's the brightest object in the sky. How about we call it that? The brightest object in the sky. Okay, so Venus. Here's a cool fun fact about Venus. So Earth takes 24 hours to go around its axis one time to create a day and a night, right? Okay. You want to know how long it takes Venus to go around its axis for one day? It takes 243 Earth days to go around one time. That's almost an entire Earth year. But you want to know what's even funnier and even crazier? So it takes 243 days for it to spin one time for one entire day. But guess how long it takes to go around the entire sun? 225 days. Oh my goodness. The year is faster than the day on the planet Venus. How crazy is that? So it takes 225 days for it to go around the sun one time. And it still hasn't even been one day yet, because one day would be 243 days. That's 18 days longer for it to make it one entire day on Venus than it does to make it a year. So you would turn a year older on Venus before the day was even over with. Crazy, isn't that? It just blows my mind how slow Venus turns. But because Venus turns so slow, the sun, which is weird, it actually rises and sets twice in the same day. We only see our sun rise one time and set one time, but the sun rises and sets at 2 different times of the day in Venus. It's crazy to me. And then also, you know what another crazy thing is? That Venus, Earth rotates to where the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Venus rotates backwards. So the sun comes up in the west and it sets in the east. So we rise in the east and set in the west. They go backwards and rise in the west and set in the east. It's like a backwards Earth almost. It's insane. It's crazy. Now, there have been some spacecrafts that have visited Venus, just like Mercury. There have been more spacecrafts that tried to visit Venus. They were the Mariner 2, Mariner 5, Mariner 10, Pioneer Venus 1, Pioneer Venus 2, and one that just orbited the planet called Magellan. Well, guess what? Miss Bowden learned that some of those spacecrafts, those space rovers that went down onto the planet to try to explore it, so many of them burned up because it was so hot that they couldn't really land on the planet to see what it was like. But because science is constantly evolving and they're getting better and better at learning and finding new things in science, guess what they did? They built one that could withstand that heat on that planet. So in the video that I'm going to send you on YouTube to watch, it shows you real life pictures on the planet. And guess what the sky looks like? It's all this golden yellowy color because of those poisonous clouds and poisonous gases. So could we ever live on Venus? No, we could never live on Venus because it's way too hot and it's way too full of poisonous gases, and there's no water, and it's nothing but erupting volcanoes and craters. Venus is called the twin sister of Earth, but it really isn't. The only twin thing about it is closeness in size and gravity. That's about it. Venus is a really cool planet, though, to learn about and to look at. And here's a real life picture on the website that I'm going to send you for some cool facts so you can see it. So it's that golden yellowy color because of all those poisonous gases. However, it is the brightest star, well, the brightest object in our night sky. And a lot of times, if you have those astronomy apps on your phone that show you what the night sky looks like, it tells you where different planets are in the night sky. So you can actually go and look up and see. I'll have to see if I can get the name of the app. I think one of them's called Night Sky, maybe. I'll have to double check and see. But they're really cool. And you can always Google what you can see in the night sky, especially on nice, clear nights when there's no lights out and you can see lots of stars in the sky. That's when, you'll be able to look up and see different planets or different constellations like the Big Dipper and Little Dipper. Pretty cool. Okay, I'll be back with your math video in a second.